I made the mistake last evening of thinking that some of these songs had been unheard, not realizing that we had performed them live on the radio the night before.
Not far from where the Astoria once stood lives one of central London's last remaining live music venues. In August, the Borderline will be shutting its doors for good.
Well, this is the Borderline, legendary basement club in Soho. It's always been a great place where bands come to play at the start of their career. Borderline is very often the first show for people on their way up. Margot Price is probably the Queen of Americana right now, and she played her first London show right here. Many legends have passed through. 1991, R.E.M. very famously played on this stage as a secret gig under the name Bingo Handjob. One artist we have had who's played on this very stage and has gone on to become a global superstar is Tash Sultana.
Back in the day, it used to be called Break for the Border, and it was sort of a Tex-Mex restaurant which had a small stage for little bands to play. The bands were what people were coming from, so they slowly phased out the food and brought up the bands and the music side of things.
And it's seen a huge variety of musicians ever since, from Ed Sheeran to Pearl Jam. Well, sort of.
The fastest selling gig for us was Pearl Jam, a tribute band. Pearl Jam had to cancel their big arena show.
And an enterprising Pearl Jam tribute band rang us up and said, oh, the gig's cancelled and there's thousands and thousands of frustrated Pearl Jam fans.
Can you do a show in 4 hours? It's going to be a sellout. The tribute played all the classics pretty much, and the crowd just loved it. It was exactly what they wanted.
Recognise this? Oasis have a pretty special tie to the venue as well.
What they actually did was do a secret gig, which they filmed to be the video for Cigarettes and Alcohol. The Borderline's hosting many different types of music, and we've had lots of great indie bands coming through.
The most eccentric rider I've seen was from Preston and the Ordinary Boys. I remember them asking for remote control cars, socks.
Which you think, why do they want socks? Well, because they're on a tour bus and they can't wash, so they want clean socks when they go on stage. One asked for 12 pigs' heads. They wanted to put on sticks on the stage. They didn't get them. Debbie Harry from Blondie played 8 nights. I mean, I don't know what the thinking was. I imagine she just thought, well, I want to relaunch myself, not as Blondie, but as Debbie Harry. Let's do a little show at the Borderline, and it sold out, so they decided to do another one, and another one, and another one, and ended up managing to do 8.
It's a great tribute to how varied the Borderline booking policy is. That 1 month they'll have acts sell out 8 consecutive gigs, and another, well, they won't.
You do get shows where not so many people come. I remember putting on C16 and 20 people came, you know. That's what happens sometimes before people start to catch on. Dua Lipa, I remember putting on her first ever show with a band, like about 10 people, and thinking, wow, she's something else. And then she's now an absolute megastar. People like Catfish and the Bottlemen came and played here, and they're now selling thousands and thousands of tickets. I mean, that's what you live for, is live music, and that's why new bands want to come and play here. It's somewhere that's a great platform. The location in the heart of Soho, it's easy to get to.
The Borderline is one of those iconic places where people can brag that they saw someone play before they were massive. It's been a vital part of the UK's music heritage for the past 30 years. Radio X.